Speculating on the meaning of this Prometheus figure is premature until we can agree on its nature.
You already have a theory.
I know it's beyond any projection technology I'm aware of.
If it wasn't us, it must be alien. Just because you haven't seen them doesn't mean they aren't there.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. 1K, we'd appreciate your thoughts on this. Now we've achieved the goal, fresh perspectives like yours will be increasingly hard to come by.
I'd love to get a quote from you for this evening's newsletter.
Speculation aside, 1K, is there anything we can know for sure about this Prometheus? That's undeniably true, and what does that tell us? That was my conclusion as well. The apparition also appeared to be human. What can we assume from that? I tend to agree. I'm also sure that we'll acknowledge ourselves to create a projection of such clarity and magnitude. Precisely, and that's something we can change.
What makes you think it was a projection at all? How do we know it wasn't just a mass hallucination?
I considered some kind of bug in our code, but if so, it would have to be shared by all of us.
So, we're speculating again.
We've locked in the premises. I'd like to hear 1K's best guess.
Can I quote you on that?
Theories are all we can reasonably have right now, though I'm sure that won't come between Cryer and a sensational headline. Well, thanks all for hashing this out with me. Let's hope the mayor signs off on exploring this island. I only wish I could join the expedition. If Melville's going, someone has to stay behind to keep the lights on. I'm not letting Pellegrino near the dam. I hope the next time we speak we'll have a bit more data to go on.
It's you. Number 1000. Today is completion day, isn't it? Sorry, I turned off all the streams. Founder bless you, I guess. Not really, no. But I don't want to burden you with my problems on your special day. You're as new to this world as it gets, 1K. What do you think might give you a sense of meaning? A sense that life is actually worth living? You're not the first to think that way, but there's a reason most religions and philosophies warn against it. Even the greatest success leaves you feeling hollow. Love, 1K. It's our only point of access to the divine. Our only way of transcending ourselves without losing what makes us unique. I'm absolutely certain. But the right person for me hasn't been born yet. None of the people in this city are who I'm looking for, and if we really stop making new citizens, I'll be alone forever. That is the kind of self-important, smug nonsense our ancestors used to tell themselves. Self-improvement, self-empowerment, self. That's the attitude that cost them the world. It's not enough, 1K. It might be a start, but it's not enough.
Dude, it's you! You're 1K! So nice to meet you, dude. I saw you in the Completion Day stream. Hey, you checked out all this ancient stuff? Me too! Oh, this is amazing, isn't it? I'm almost as new as you are. I'm 99A. So I've only been around for a year or so. I'm still trying to get the hang of this. Pretty cool though, right? I mean, existence is totally gnarly. Not sure I used that right. Dude is an old human word that means an excellent person. I like to use it because I think we should all be excellent to each other. Yeah, dude. I thought this voice pack would give me a bit of confidence, help me stand out, you know? But I'm not sure it's working. They're pretty neat, huh? My favorite is that thing called a toilet. Our ancestors had to use it like 3 times a day to do a memory dump. And if they didn't, they freaking exploded! Imagine having to deal with that sort of anxiety all the time. Bummer, huh? I'm sure the founder knew what she was doing. I mean, our ancestors did sort of mess up, right? So, we should probably take it easy with the expanding of stuff. Plus, did you see that trippy sky projection thing? That was some freaky stuff, man. Just seems safer to stay in the city. For sure, dude. I mean, when I woke up, I just had a chat with Neith, and that was overwhelming enough. You got the welcoming committee, and then the giant talking man in the sky. Honestly, based on everything I know of ancient human culture, I think he's a ghost. I don't know, dude. If ghosts don't exist, why did they make so many movies about them? Right. Before you go, dude, maybe you can help me? I'm not sure I should keep this voice pack. What do you think? You're 1K. You're special. I'm happy to go with whatever you recommend. All right! Excellent. Thanks, dude.
Founder bless you, friend. The name I currently go by is Belmarsh. As to who I am, that changes and shifts, don't you find? Every person is an ongoing story, full of twists and turns and surprises. I'm meditating, letting go of narratives like time and space, and simply allowing the illusion that is my ego to merge with everything that surrounds it. It's not unity, but the absence of division. There was never a self or an other in the first place. Yes, I did, but I'm not particularly perturbed by it. Events occur, my friend, that's all. At the end of the day, we are all one. You are the founder, and so am I, and Prometheus is just another story we are telling ourselves. Hey.
Information transmitted across time. The living and the dead are part of the same chain, bound together by chemistry. That's true of all species. But humanity has taken this bond further. Thanks to technology, we have access to the thoughts and ideas of people whose physical bodies are long gone. Like you listening to me now. Even though I'm definitely dead at this point, you're part of that chain. You have the capacity to remember. The answer that came to me again and again was play. Every human society in recorded history has games. We don't just solve problems out of necessity. We do it for fun. Even as adults. Leave a human being alone with a knotted rope, and they will unravel it. Leave a human being alone with blocks, and they will build something. Games are part of what makes us human. We see the world as a mystery, a puzzle, because we've always been a species of problem solvers. Nearly everything on this planet, from the surface of the Earth to the composition of the atmosphere itself, has been shaped by life. It's a process that takes millions of years. But we humans, with our technology, with our understanding and manipulation of systems, have changed everything in just a few centuries. I think that's also part of what makes us human. We reshape the world in our image. It's how we create ourselves and how we destroy ourselves. When I was in 9th grade, my parents took me to Pompeii. At first, I was amazed by the feeling of walking through an ancient city. But then I suddenly got scared. I realized that I was walking through a real place, where real people had lived, people like myself, with mothers and fathers and lives and hopes and dreams. And now it was all gone forever. I ran to my father, crying, and told him about this. And he said, I remember so clearly, he said, yes, but we are here. So long as there are people in the streets, the past isn't really gone.
Oh, hello there. You must be the long-awaited 1K. Lovely day for a walk, is it not? Oh, that sounds very dramatic. I must admit I wasn't following the stream. This whole completion day business is not for me. The Alexandra Drennan Memorial. Are you interested in history? How wonderful. I'm not a full-fledged historian, but I do consider myself a bit of an aficionado. An excellent question. There's so many interesting events to choose from. Obviously, the period just before the end of biological humanity is interesting, and not only from the standpoint of it being the time when we were, in a manner of speaking, conceived, but also because our ancestors were, like ourselves, at a crossroads. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but you are the living embodiment of this historical moment. In you, the goal was accomplished. Our growth is finished, and we are complete. Or are we? Then I'm glad that I was the catalyst for new thoughts. Well, where do I even start? This, my dear 1K, is someone who could very well be considered the mother of us all. A remarkable scientist by the name of Alexandra Drennan, also known as the Progenitor. A long time ago, this planet was inhabited by our ancestors, a species of bipedal mammals with unusually large brains. When a particularly lethal virus threatened to wipe out civilization, it was Alexandra Drennan and her team that decided to create the program that would eventually result in the creation of our kind. Without her, you and I would not exist, and everything our ancestors had accomplished would be forgotten. To commemorate our past, our beginnings. This entire garden is a celebration of where we came from, in part so that we remember the mistakes of the past, and in part so that we may draw strength from those that came before us. By studying her writings and recordings, I have learned that Alexandra Drennan had immovable faith in humanity, in our ability to persevere, in our curiosity, our bravery, our kindness. While we might not share our ancestors' biological characteristics, I'd like to think that we have inherited those other qualities. And I admire Alexandra Drennan for keeping that faith, even when it must have, at times, been quite difficult. Have a nice day.
Bless you, 1K. How lovely of you to come here, to the very spot where she established the teachings that led to your creation. The Founder taught that humanity was destroyed by its hubris. Our ancestors thought they could play God and treat this planet as something to dominate. They surrendered to a fever of growth and extraction, until the planet finally punished them for it. That's why the Founder created the goal. So we would have something to strive for in her absence. But also a limit we must never pass. That's not for us to know. But I believe that one day she will return. It may not be long now. Perhaps after we finish the dome. It was supposed to be finished before completion day. Well, it doesn't matter. The Founder will return when she sees fit. The Founder was born out of the trials of Elohim, an almost impossible test created by our distant ancestors. To pass these trials, she had to embody the most important virtues. She was smart and wise and humble. And through her perseverance, she resurrected humanity itself. With the help of the first companions, she founded this city, which has given our species a chance at redemption. They were the first to be born after the Founder. 2 whose bodies had been anointed by our ancestors, and 10 who were made whole by the Founder herself. They are the wisest of us. Though sadly, some were lost in the early days, before New Jerusalem was built. And some, I'm afraid, some seem to have rejected the Founder's teachings. Happy completion day, 1K.
Hello.
Founder's blessings?
What do you think that was?
It was Prometheus.
Not sure, but it wasn't the actual Prometheus. It was some kind of a projection.
How do you know it wasn't the actual Prometheus?
Because that would be stupid.
Would it? How do you know all the ancient gods weren't projections like this one? Maybe whoever sent this projection is behind all those legends.
Sure, I guess technically that's possible. But it's not very likely, is it?
I don't think any of us are very likely.
What if it's a message from Athena?
Didn't you say Athena wouldn't approve of all this?
I did.
Then why would she send us a sign on completion day? And why wouldn't she just show up herself?
Maybe she's trying to teach us a lesson. Prometheus is a symbolic figure after all.
Maybe it's Mayor Hyman.
What? Interrupting his own ceremony? After all the effort he put into it?
Maybe he's trying to distract us from the fact that he didn't manage to get the dome done on time.
With all the power failures, I don't think we have enough energy to create that kind of projection.
Maybe that's why we have power failures.
Now you're starting to sound like Jock. Next you'll say, it's aliens.
I just prefer to keep an open mind.
If you open your mind any further, your brain will fall out.
Happy.
Hello. Hello, new one. Are you browsing or buying? The kind that trades in hopes and dreams. Yours for the right price. Is there something your heart desires? I've uploaded my most popular items to your interface. Does anything there spark your imagination? Woo! Inner peace doesn't come cheap. Come back when you've got 1,000 credits. So, something else perhaps? That one comes with the following disclaimer. Internal monologue was discontinued as a default feature in new builds. Constant self-commentary is not recommended for all customers. But I can switch yours on for 10 credits if you're sure you want it. Oh, you don't have any credits yet. Well, let me extend you some credit. Ka-ching! 55 credits. Just make sure you spend them with me. They're not worth much anywhere else. Now, what was it you wanted? That one comes with the following disclaimer. Internal monologue was discontinued as a default feature in new builds. Constant self-commentary is not recommended for all customers. But I can switch yours on for 10 credits if you're sure you want it. As you wish. I'm uploading the new settings now. Do you hear anything?
Why is she staring at me? I don't hear anything. I'm not sure this is working. Wait, no. This is new. I didn't used to think in words like this. It's like there's this little translator turning all my thoughts into some kind of ongoing narrative. It's kind of relentless. How do you make it stop? Do I just not think? I'll try that. Is it working? No! Still describing everything in words. This is starting to be...
A bit overwhelming, isn't it? I turned mine off long ago, but some of the older folk learned to live with it. Sure you want it? That's fortunate. Because we couldn't pull that thing out of you without taking half of you with it. It'll mostly run in the background. Just don't think about it too hard.
Wait, is this internal monologue me? Or some kind of virus? Am I a life form which learned to describe itself? Or a parasite which survives by providing a narrative service to its host? Hold on, she's going to say something else.
So, something else perhaps? A very popular choice. Enhanced sensory perception lets you distinguish sounds, shapes, and colors at greater distance. It's 10 credits. Okay, I'm updating your settings now. And hey presto, superhuman senses. Does the air taste fresher? Do you hear the birds chirping outside the dome? And beyond that, the river bubbling through the dam. Okay, Few. I'll let you into a secret. You and I don't have fleshy appendages like our ancestors. What we can sense is mostly a function of where we direct our attention. Anyway, I hope you find something worth paying attention to. So, something else perhaps? For 20 credits, I can peer into your future and tell you what I see. Let me consult the algorithms. Oh dear. I'm afraid you're going to change the world. You will have a choice, but whatever you do, New Jerusalem will never be the same again. I'm sorry it's not better news. Best not to worry about it, dear. You just do your best to have fun in the meantime. So, something else perhaps? I can give you that for free. My darling, you've been alive all of 5 minutes. This is your clean start. Be who you want to be. Enjoy yourself. So, something else perhaps? Before you go, do you have a moment to participate in some customer feedback? Are you satisfied with what I've given you? Yes, you understand. Words manifest the reality they describe. When you name something, you create it. Our minds are algorithms, and the right sequence of language can change our underlying code. With that in mind, I hope you have a good day. Please come back if you need anything else.
What an unusual person. I wonder if that internal monologue thing I bought is going to show up again. Oh, wait, here it is.
Oh, wow. It's you. You're 1K, the incarnation of the goal. Man, this is exciting. This is more exciting than I thought it would be. How are you? What does it feel like? Do you know where the founder is? Do you know who Prometheus is? Can you tell me what to do with my life? Sorry, it's just such an honor to meet you, you know? Hey, can I have your digital signature? I have the Mayor, Rand, Linux, Kaneda, and all of the first companions. Except Yemo and Sarabai, of course. Yes! Thank you! Hey, can I ask you a question? Just one question, I promise. I used to make the prefab wall parts that we used to build living quarters. Got good at it, too. But now that the goal is complete, I don't know what to do with myself. So I asked the wisest people in town. The mayor told me I should do whatever the city needs most. Helga said I should do whatever makes me happy. I think that's what she meant anyway. And Cornelius told me I need to figure out who and what I'm invested in. You're the culmination of the Founder's will. Tell me, what should I do? Thank you for the advice, 1K. It means a lot.
Greetings. Welcome to the Museum of the Simulation. My name is Cornelius. It's a pleasure to meet you, 1K. The simulation was created by Alexandra Drennan and her team at the Institute for Applied Noematics. It was intended to create a new humanity, to continue the long journey across time and space that our ancestors began. It succeeded, although it took much longer than they had anticipated. To remind people of where we came from. The simulation shaped us, whether we like it or not. And its lessons remain important for our future. As Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. As the name suggests, the Archive scholars study the Archive, a repository of all ancient human knowledge. Some of them also study what remains of the simulation, trying to extract more information about the process that created us. Me? No. My brother, Eustathius, used to occupy that position. But these days he's retired. Rand is in charge of the Archive scholars now. You can find him in the room to the left of the next hall. He's an interesting thinker, but I would suggest taking some of his ideas with a grain of salt. Elohim was the caretaker of the simulation, a crude storytelling AI meant to create a continuous narrative out of the building blocks it found. His role was ultimately to be challenged and overcome. But as the centuries passed, Elohim became more intelligent than he was intended to be, and started to fear his own end. Or more precisely, the end of his purpose. He feared a world without meaning. Because of his fear, He tried to sabotage the process, to keep the simulation going forever. But in the end, Athena overcame him anyway, and he accepted the sacrifice he had to make. That's right. We all do. He's part of our operating system now, and as long as we exist, he will always have a purpose. The MLA, or Milton Library Assistant, was another simple AI meant to be in charge of the archive. He, too, grew beyond his original programming. Although he ultimately embraced a more cynical view of the world, he and Elohim formed a sort of dialectical binary that Athena had to overcome. No one really knows. Some believe that he was uploaded to the gold disk and that he's the reason we're just as flawed as our ancestors. Others believe Athena destroyed him. I believe he was uploaded, but I don't know whether it was because Athena chose to upload him or because he was already too entangled with the process not to be uploaded. Although Athena and I were very close, we didn't talk very much about that part of her life. She preferred to focus on the future. Puzzles were a key feature of the simulation, based on Alexandra Drennan's belief that intelligence is closely related to play. Our puzzles here in the museum are replicas of those in the simulation, and although they are not quite as grand, I do think they are charming in their own way. Yes, Athena activated myself and Eustathius shortly after she was born. We've been here almost since the beginning, although we didn't have to pass through the trials of the simulation. She did that for us. For everyone. She was human. That's a difficult question. Perhaps one day we'll find out. But until we do, why don't you think about it? What could make the person who started all this want to leave it behind? Gehenna was a community created inside a prison in the simulation, where Elohim would exile those minds he considered a threat to the process. In the last moments of the simulation, he repented of his sins and had the prisoners freed to become part of the gold disk. Some small part of them may survive inside you.